Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a wear test, demo, and review of the brand new Makeup Forever Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. This is not a first impressions. I've tried this a few times, a few different ways. So I'm going to tell you guys all about that, but before I do, I'm going to give you guys a little information and I'm going to show you applying it as well as the wear test that I did yesterday. So Makeup Revolution released a concealer last year, I believe it was last year, and that was a really huge hit. They've made a bigger size for that now, as well as this foundation. It retails for $12, 24 shades, and you're not getting a full fluid ounce, but you're getting the 0.8 fluid ounces with 23 milliliters. So just a little bit less than your typical foundation. And just like the concealer, you're getting one of those doe foot applicators. Out of the 24 shades, I went with F6 because according to the website, I ordered mine on the Makeup Revolution website because I think it came out there before it was at Ulta. It's at Ulta now though, so you're good. But F6 was supposed to be a light to medium, which is what I would consider myself right now. Light to medium with neutral undertones. Well, this is extremely light. I'm going to insert a picture with F6 in the middle and then MAC NW15 and MAC NC15, which I would both consider those shades to be fair. So I don't know if all the shades run light, but this one is definitely on the fair side, not light to medium. According to the details, it says Makeup Revolution's Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation offers lightweight yet buildable coverage in 24 skin true shades. This versatile foundation is designed to suit every skin type and tone. With an oil-free yet creamy and comfortable formula that dries down to a long-lasting demi-matte finish, it won't settle into fine lines or cling to dry patches. Housed in a glass bottle with a jumbo doe foot applicator for greater control and less waste, this foundation offers highly pigmented coverage that can be layered or diffused to suit your look. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys applying this. You can see just how fair it is, and today I used it for more of that full coverage so you could see what it looked like with full coverage kind of wear. I do believe that this covers up just like everything. Yesterday in the wear test, I wore it just a little bit thinner and I kept it away from underneath my eyes. Today, I wore it all the way up to here like I normally would with a foundation. It's very smooth. It's very thin, which I like, but you are going to have to work in areas because I find it to dry down pretty quickly. It's not a dry down where you touch it and you feel zero tackiness. I still feel like a slight, very slight, but I don't think that if you didn't want to powder this that you couldn't. I think that if you wanted to leave this and let it set by itself, you absolutely could, but I'm a powder kind of girl. I never had it cling to any of my dry areas. My skin is changing because of, you know, the weather going from hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold. So this area on my face is just a tiny bit drier and around my mouth, and neither times did it cling to anything, which I was very happy with. I personally ended up liking this better without a primer. So today when I'm putting this on, I don't have a primer on because I feel like it glides onto my skin just a little bit better. The primer makes it look smoother, but I feel like the primer also can make it look a little bit drier unless you use something that's super hydrating. I did not like this with a brush for my skin type. I am combo, so where my cheeks are slightly more dry, I wouldn't call them dry at this point, just slightly more than normal. I felt like it pulled just a little bit too much, but if you're oily, I think it would be just fine. So I'm using a Sonia Kashuk sponge to apply it. And again, working in areas and then moving on to the next. So now you can see my makeup, it's fully finished, everything is done. Today I used Fix Plus because, like I said, I prefer to use this foundation and stop it right about here, because when I get up to this area and then also use a concealer on top, I feel for my skin type that it can look a little crepey, and it still does just a little bit today, but not bad. I went in with my Fix Plus today. When I did my wear test, I had no setting spray, no Fix Plus or anything. So when you see that, I had nothing extra on there. So for the check-ins, for the 3-hour mark, everything is still in place. Everything's still looking very matte. It's slightly dry looking, not in a cakey way, but it just looks matte and just slightly dry on my cheeks, in my opinion. I don't think that you would see that unless you were close up, but it doesn't feel dry, it doesn't feel heavy, and my pores look smooth. Everything looks just really nice. At 7 hours, everything is still smooth, but again, still very matte. I had a little bit of shine around my nose and a little bit on my chin, but really nothing moved, and I had fallen asleep. We went to the movies, and on the way back, I take a blanket to the movies. So I had taken the blanket and slept on this side of my face the whole way home, which is a 45-minute ride, and it didn't move. So props to that. At the 10-hour mark, the only thing that happened was my nose, forehead, and the chin just got a little bit more shiny. Still nothing moved. Like, I didn't get any cracking really around my nose. It just got a little shinier. Still smooth, and I think it would still keep going well. Like, I don't think that if I had not taken it off after this, that it would have suddenly gone downhill. It was wearing very, very well. I liked that all day, even though this is, I would consider this to be very matte. I still did not feel dry. You know that feeling where you feel like all the hydration has been taken out of your skin? That never happened, so I was very pleased with that. Now, as far as the claims, I just want to tell you how I feel about them. The demi matte, I don't agree. I think this is pretty much straight up matte, at least on my combo skin. It won't settle into fine lines or cling to dry patches. I did find that to be true. I had no issues with it settling into anything, and surprisingly so, it didn't cling to any kind of dryness I had, except with the brush. So if I used a brush, it would do that. It would look kind of like patchy. So use a sponge if you are dry. I don't think that this is for all skin types. I don't think that if you are mainly dry, mainly dehydrated, I don't think that you are going to like this foundation. I like the way this looks on my skin, but it is too matte for me personally. I love matte foundations on camera. Like, I think that they look so good on camera, and I like to really highlight the skin when I'm wearing a matte foundation. But day-to-day life, I don't tend to grab for them, especially here recently, and especially with the weather change. If you like matte foundations, I think that you will like this one. It's definitely worth a go. I'm going to have to tell you to be careful with that shade range. Maybe try to find some swatches, because I'm an NC20 right now, and this is definitely too light for me. So yeah, I would investigate the swatches if you could. I do find it to be very long wearing. My pores looked great all day, so for anybody who's wondering about oily skin, I would say that it should work out for you pretty well. It might not last as long everywhere if you're oily everywhere, but I still think it's a good one to try out. And also, it never oxidized on me at all. Lighting changes, that can make the color look a little bit different, and I definitely bronzed up my skin while trying this foundation, but no, it never oxidized on me at all. All right, you guys, I hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know if you're going to be grabbing this one, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.